Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Miami Heat Summer League standout has earned a two-way contract. The Miami Heat clinched their first Summer League championship in franchise history on Monday night, edging out the Memphis Grizzlies 120-118 in a thrilling overtime victory. It was an impressive team headlined by Kel'el Ware, Pelle Larsson, Alonzo Williams, Keshad Johnson and Cole Swider. However, it was Josh Christopher who stole the show, brought it home for the Heat with a dazzling performance, and was named Summer League Championship MVP. The 24th pick in the 2021 draft came through in the clutch repeatedly during this July showcase. There was the 20-point, fourth-quarter explosion versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, the clutch and one against the Golden State Warriors to send them to the Summer League Championship, and then his 24-point, 6 three-pointers, performance that included a step-back three-pointer from the logo. This performance not only earned his squad the championship but also earned himself the Summer League Championship MVP. Christopher has been in the Miami Heat pipeline since early January when he joined the team's G League affiliate in Sioux Falls. Since being waived by the Houston Rockets in 2023, he's kept his head down and put it in the work as he realized nothing is given in this league. At this point in the offseason, Christopher is trying to play himself into a two-way contract for the Heat. The Heat have 14 players on the roster and cannot add a 15th and stay below the second tax apron until mid-season. But the organization can be flexible with their two-way contract spots, which can be swapped out at any time without impacting the team's payroll. Teams can carry up to 3 two-way players on the roster, and you can debate from when the sun rises to when it falls who the other two should be, but Christopher should be a lock. He's done everything he can to get his career back on track, and he's done it while buying into what the Heat stand for. He's been selfless, humble and willing to do the hard work. Though the Heat have given one of the two-way spots to Drew Smith, they should be looking to rescind that offer. Nothing against Smith, but the Heat have younger guys with more potential, and it doesn't help that Smith is coming off of an ACL tear. Smith is a familiar face, but he was absent from Summer League as he recovers from his injury. Yes, the Heat have been praised for the development of undrafted players and relative unknowns, but when have they had a former first-round pick in the pipeline with Christopher's raw talent, and is still just 22 years old? For a team that is pressed against the second apron, depth matters. If Christopher gets a two-way and then proves he deserves a standard contract later on, that is a huge win for the Heat. Christopher's ability to score could help a team whose offense tends to stall. Regardless, bringing him into the locker room is a smart move. It's rare to find an uber-talented player with a newfound hunger. The Heat should offer Christopher a two-way contract as soon as possible. Ex-Rockets Josh Christopher wins Summer League Championship MVP. The NBA 2K Summer League tournament ended Monday night, with the Miami Heat defeating the Memphis Grizzlies for the championship in Las Vegas. The Heat had 5 players who scored in double figures, headlined by Josh Christopher, who scored a team-high 24 points on 9 of 17 shooting, 6 of 10 from behind the arc. Christopher's performance led to him winning Summer League Championship MVP, showcasing his development from his days playing for the Houston Rockets. He also added 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks to lead the Heat to a 120-118 overtime win. According to Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald, Christopher is currently awaiting the Heat's decision about a two-way deal, alongside teammates Keshad Johnson, Zion Pullen, and Drew Smith. Christopher began his career as a first-round pick, number 24 overall, of the Rockets in 2021. The former Arizona State prospect did not find consistent minutes under former coach Stephen Silas. When he wasn't in the rotation, Christopher spent time developing his game with Houston's G League affiliated team, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. Christopher averaged 6.9 points in 15.4 minutes in 138 games played with the Rockets. but with the Vipers, Christopher averaged 23.6 points on an average of 33.6 minutes played. The Rockets traded Christopher to the Memphis Grizzlies in July 2023. Following his release September, Christopher spent the 2023-24 season playing for the Salt Lake City Stars and Sioux Falls Skyforce. Former NBA champion asks Miami Heat to trade for Brandon Ingram. Former NBA All-Star Brandon Ingram is unhappy in New Orleans, according to multiple insiders, and would prefer to play for another team beginning in the 2024-25 season. Elsewhere, the Miami Heat could use a reliable 20-plus PPG scorer like Ingram to form a duo. Both parties would benefit from a union. That's the opinion of Kendrick Perkins. On the July 17 episode of NBA Today, the former NBA champion asked the Miami Heat to contact the Pelicans for a mutually beneficial transaction. "I would like to see Brandon Ingram to the Miami Heat because we know the Pelicans are listening to offers," Perkins said. Go to the Miami Heat. Perkins believes Ingram, who averaged 20.8 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 5.7 assists in the 2023-24 season, would solve many of the Miami Heat's problems on both sides of the ball. This is a young man who has proven he can go out there and average 25 a night. He's a basket chaser. He plays in the most important position, the wing, in the game. Because Ingram has an expiring contract, the Pelicans don't necessarily have much leverage in trade negotiations. Additionally, NBA insider Mark Stein reported that Ingram was seeking a $210 million maximum contract extension with the Pelicans, but the franchise was unwilling to make such a financial commitment. The Pelicans have made it clear that they will not make that much of an effort to re-sign him, and while several teams have seriously explored Ingram negotiations since the start of the offseason, no other team willing to sign the 26-year-old at those values has yet emerged. Stein on July 10. To Stein's point that no other team is willing to offer Ingram the maximum extension, the Miami Heat could acquire the star winger without giving up much. "We were very clear, we would prefer Brandon to stay with us," Griffin told SiriusXM via NBA.com. "And Brandon was very clear, he prefers to stay with us. There's a financial reality to it," Griffin said of contract negotiations with Ingram. "And where I think we can go in terms of keeping this group together may not be as far as he and his agency would like us to be able to go. So for now, let's play. I think we're committed to each other and committed to seeing if this team can work in a way that makes sense." Ultimately, the team that trades for Ingram will likely be the one that signs him to a new contract. As such, the 2024-25 season will be a contract year for the Duke alum and one in which he could potentially return to all-star caliber form. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Brandon Ingram? Leave your opinion in the comments.